Hi, my name is Tim. So glad that you're joining just even for a few minutes to get updated what's happening here at Kamloops Aligned. So many things happening. So just appreciate you just even tuning in for a couple minutes. And we talk about finances and a few other things happening. So first and foremost, talk about finances. We're talking about the June. June is year end. So thanks for tuning in. As we're looking at where we're at financially, we had budgeted for 142 and actually brought in 181. So church, just thank you. Just truly, truly thank you for your trust and your generosity as we look to make Jesus known, and that we do those things by the general fund and what happens there. So thank you, church, for that. The total ministry revenue, so these are just ministry related revenues coming in. That was $24,000 where we had budget for 17. The total general expenses, again, 137 to 141. So we were a bit higher in our expenses on the operating expenses, as well as the ministry expenses were quite a bit higher. And that's in large part to the decision to do a soul care conference. So that in large part happens there. At the end of the day, we had budget for a $5,000 gain in the month of June, and we actually landed at a $24,000 gain. So church, once again, thank you for your generosity and your trust in us as we steward the funds that God has given you and then you've entrusted to us. Okay, so then for the year to date, this is where we're landing for the end of the year. Now, with that, we had budget for $108,000 to come, or $1.8 million to come in for revenue on the general, but we actually saw just under 1.7. So we really about $100,000 short what we expected to bring in for the general revenue. The total ministry revenue was about what we expected to bring in for that. With the expenses, however, we had expected to expend 1.772. We were able to make some savings on just the general operations of the building and of ministries, the building and the just the general operating budget, and actually only spending 1.722. And then finally, the ministry expenses were budgeted for 429 and that 345. So really, that is a lot of us look at the ministries we're doing and saying, look, we're not bringing as much as we were hoping to bring in. So we need to really make the dollars count wherever we can. So we were able to save about rough math, about $70,000 in ministry expenses for this year. So where'd we land? Well, we actually landed at $102,000 loss. So with that, it is actually a gift and a blessing, considering that we also have had a year where our capital campaign really got going and a lot of the funds came in for that this year. So we're really in a good spot considering exactly where we are in the capital campaign as well as where we are in our giving. Moving beyond that, Care Connections, again, $71,000, ministry outreach, all these combined together. These are earmarked. So far this year, we had $171,000 specifically for restricted donations geared towards and earmarked for specific ministries. So once again, your generosity is so noted. Well done, church. Here's the Beyond All campaign numbers. The gifts received so far, we have $800,000 that have been brought in cash on hand. With that, over $421,000 has been pledged over and above that for a grand total of so far $1.2 million. So with that, just wanted to give you a really quick update as to where we are in the capital campaign. Once again, we have now been working with the architects as well as the engineers to figure out what pieces they need to be involved in throughout the building as we're looking at different projects. The architects have signed off on certain pieces saying they don't need to be involved on certain key pieces. So we can go ahead and move on them without the architectural drawings. And then certain pieces they do need to be involved in. And so we're going to strategically map those out for the next season or so. But that does give us an ability to move ahead on some of these projects. So over the summer, as I mentioned before, we're looking at the doors as well as Rivers Cafe and as well as the first aid room and then the children's wing. We're also looking at the children's wing and redesigning that. So those are the key projects. And depending on where the final decision lands, we're waiting for some information back from the architects regarding the staircases. But once that pricing comes back and it's confirmed, the board can then officially move the project forward, and we can hopefully hopefully starting that project pretty soon. So those are kind of the two big phases that we're looking at right now. Again, phase one being kind of a few spots around the building, and then phase two, when the appropriate time comes, will be the staircase. So that's happening over the next 2 or 3 months. We should start seeing really holes in walls by the end of this week of this recording. So with that said, church, I just want to say thank you for your generosity, for your kindness, for your trust, and just pray that God gives us discernment and wisdom into this next season as we're going to capital campaign and a new budget year, that we would honor him in everything that we do. So church, well done. We're so proud to be linking arms and partnering with you in what God is doing.